What is up guys, it's Aaron from Rudy Visuals, and in today's video I'm going to teach you a very simple technique so that you can get consistent audio levels throughout your videos. So I'll see you after that intro. So you've probably heard this old saying on YouTube that good audio is just as important as your video. You pretty much instantly put off any potential viewers, any potential subscribers if your video has bad sound. This is why I always preach that content creators, YouTubers, video makers should always use dedicated microphones rather than the ones that come built into the cameras. However, another mistake that I commonly see is just the audio levels not being edited in any kind of way. Sometimes it's very loud, sometimes it's very quiet, and obviously it's very difficult, for example, if you're vlogging, you're outside and there's lots of noises and things like that. However, you can definitely improve the audio for your viewers by making sure that your audio levels are nice and even throughout. All right, so what we're gonna do now is jump into Premiere Pro and I'll very quickly show you how it's done. Now don't worry, if you're not using Premiere Pro, pretty much every other video editor has this tool. So if you're using Final Cut Pro, you're using Sony Vegas, if you're using DaVinci, it's a kind of a universal tool that should be available with all of these editors. So here we are in Premiere Pro, and I have this kind of a test footage that I put together here with very uneven sound. So let me just play this back for you so you can hear what it sounds like. So this is what the lapel mic usually sounds like when it's at a sort of decent-ish distance. And now I'm going to talk really quietly with the lapel mic really far away. I'll maybe speak at a slightly more normal sounding voice, but the lapel mic is really far away from my mouth. And now I'll talk really loudly, super loudly. Sorry if this is hurting your ears, but it's right next to my mouth. Okay, so right off the bat, you can hear that obviously the parts that are too quiet and the parts that are too loud, there's so much difference in the audio levels here that it's jarring. It's going to be annoying for your viewer because they're either going to have to turn their volume up or turn their volume down. This is a problem that I actually see very often, particularly in like vlogs and things like that. When people are outside, they're getting excited, they're conversing, and sometimes they're talking either too loudly or they're talking too quietly. We can see that in our audio wave, we can hear it, and using our very handy decibel meter here as well. Now in terms of the actual target audio, there isn't really like an internet standard, but the kind of general convention is you kind of want your audio to be around -6 to about -3 so that you've got a nice consistent sound, but it's not going above, it's not going into the red, which is what we don't want. This is when audio clips. Unfortunately for us, this clip, the audio levels are, as you can see, all over the place. And that makes for a very uneven experience for our viewer. Luckily, we can actually fix this with a very simple tool. So in Premiere Pro, we go into the effects panel and we search for, I can't spell today, there we go, and drag that onto our clips. So what the dynamics basically does is it's going to help us even out the sound. So if we go into the effects control, let's start with the very quiet clip. So go into the edits, and the two that we're most interested in here are the compressor and the limiter. So the compressor basically increases any quiet parts, and the limiter is going to ensure that it doesn't go above whatever we set this target to at. So we said before that the limit is around -3, -6. So let's set that to -6 for now. And the compressor, what we want to do is just go through our audio. So if we play it back, and try and look for the quietest part of the target sound. So our target sound here is the voice. So where is my voice at the quietest? Let's have a look. And now I'm going to talk really quietly with the lapel mic really far away. I'll maybe speak at a slightly more normal sounding. So about -25 is the threshold we want to set it at. So now that we have set the threshold, we want to choose how much louder we want to make that target part. So let's increase that to about, we'll say 10 for now, and just see how that sounds. So now that we've set that, let's play it back and hear how it sounds. And now I'm going to talk really quietly with the lapel mic really far away. I'll maybe speak at a slightly more normal sounding voice, but the lapel mic is really far away from my mouth. So you can already see it's pushed that voice level up way higher than it was before, but I still think it's a little bit quiet, so let's maybe set it to 15 instead. Let's see if that pushes us a bit closer to our -6 target. So play it back again. And now I'm going to talk really quietly with the lapel mic really far away. I'll maybe speak at a slightly more normal sounding voice, but the lapel mic is really far away from my mouth. So we can see that it was reaching our limit there, so that means we're hitting our target sound. Okay, so let's go over to our loud clip. And now I'll talk really loudly, super loudly. Sorry if this is hurting your ears, but it's right next to my mouth. All right, so here we want to set the limit to -6. And in this case, it won't allow the audio to go above -6. And now I'll talk really loudly, super loudly. Sorry if this is hurting your ears, but it's right next to my mouth. Fantastic, there we go. So now if we play the whole thing back, we'll hear much more even audio levels. And now I'm going to talk really quietly with the lapel mic really far away. I'll maybe speak at a slightly more normal sounding voice, but the lapel mic is really far away from my mouth. And now I'll talk really loudly, super loudly. Sorry if this is hurting your ears, but it's right next to my mouth. And now I'm going to talk really quietly with the lapel mic really far away. I'll maybe speak at a slightly more normal sounding voice, but the lapel mic is really far away from my mouth. And now I'll talk really loudly, super loudly. Sorry if this is hurting your ears, but it's right next to my mouth. So this does take a little bit of experimentation. Just play around with that threshold and how much louder you want to make that original sound, or how much quieter if it's super loud. But yeah, very simple way to very easily fix your audio levels. Well, there you have it, a very simple and easy way to quickly even out the audio levels in your sound. Any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And as always, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And if you found this video useful, give it a like, hit that subscribe button if you are new. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.